Hi, this is Abid Hussain Malik from Abid Financials. Welcome to our fifth and last video of our ongoing series Study Material QuickBooks Level 2, Section 5, that's named Custom Reporting. There would be 8 to 10 shall be asked in your exam. The question vary in each attempt. In this video, we shall discuss our 6 topics that are creating insights and custom categorization, tags, custom fields, classes, and the last one is location. All the topics shall be discussed in details one by one. Let's start. I am CPA Chartered Accountant with 10 years of experience with more than 300 clients, and I provide accounting bookkeeping services to my worldwide clients. And if you have any problem, any consultation, you may contact at my email address or at my WhatsApp number. I shall reply you as soon as possible. I also deal with QuickBooks and Zero certification. And let's start our first topic here, that is creating insights. We shall discuss the overview of this one. If you are providing advisory to the clients, and by combining your knowledge, your understanding of your clients as well as powerful reporting, you will be able to analyze the client's data, providing greater insights to their that will help to understand the business better. So how you will insight your vision? There are 4 points: using the report center and sharing the reports, using the performance center, and using the cash planning tool. So these are the different functions of our report center. These are standard reports and how to share with your clients, and the performance center, these. So we shall discuss one by one. Report center contains a report of standard reports here and can be customized and shared with the clients, providing insight to their business. An accounting pro with an understanding of client's business, a detailed knowledge of reporting option is QuickBooks. So we shall discuss all these features in a one by one here. In the report center, access through a left navigation bar where you can run default report or saved customized reports. These are, and create a shared management reports. Create and share with your management reports can be easily found by looking the relevant category like business overview, sales, customers, or search by name. Custom reports can be structured into groups to make them easier to find and allow you to quickly create a PDF containing connected reports. Reports also scheduled from custom reports tab. So this is main thing you should. A scheduled report can be created only in custom report tab from within the report itself, as you shall see shortly. This is the report center. This is standard and custom and management report. Here you have made some changes of your standard reports, and these can be scheduled to your management. You can create a custom reports by opening any report in standard tabs and making some changes and save them. Now your custom report is prepared. When doing this, it's important to change the report title to someone unique, like meeting your requirement, and so this is very good to recall again and return to the easily and will be obvious to the clients you're looking for. Date range of report will be default range set in report option. You have set, you may change anytime. And balance sheet does not present data from a given date range, just a point in time. Always it will give you the data in time when you're running your report. This time last date of the report of the date range. Setting date range on a balance sheet changes the date range. You will see you drill down into any values on the balance sheet. So this is your report sales by customer details. Here you may change your dates here. In the fifth step, a standard report open with predefined grouping filters. This can be changed to show exactly data you want. Select the group by change how data report groups and subtotal. The groups option will depending on reports. How your client's account is set up will include the custom categorization method. Classification as well as field can also be selected there. Filter. In the filter, how you can customize your reports. First of all, you will run any reports, and the right navigation bar you will see the general option, group by, and filter. Here the filter, you will see the different columns, num, quantity, and these things. This is a column. There are 10 columns are selected here, so we are discussing here. For example, you can set a filter show only the data for certain clients or transaction types. And again, you want filter by will depend upon the type of the report. When you are choosing, you want to filter the report by, and you can set the filter option including specified items. And once you have completed this filter information report, update automatically. Select the general option to determine how the report display visually. Select the column to set which data column should be shown in report. This includes removing. You can already see additional column not already included as other customization. When you have finished customizing a report, don't forget to save it. Once it's saved, it can be used in future, and the save option will then be included as save as, or create a copy, or add to the group quickly way to new reports group or the reports. All customization will vary depending on the reports running. P&L and balance sheet also include the option to compare the data with another report. You can choose compare data from the previous period or previous year, or display the dollar or percentage changes. And adding this data can help identify trends and measures over time and uncover any postings. So here you can see the compare another reports. These are options here. Classic and modern views of the reports. Report center is going through a refresh. You shall see many reports have label new enhanced experience next to them. So these reports, modern view for reporting, this is being introduced to make it easier for discover. Modern view reports provide faster performance, additional customization than classic. Over the time it could be changed into our new version. Those customization are same, but of course some features may work definitely in the classic reports and some may not in the modern reports. So here these kind of the reports you will see here. The cash reports. Many reports in QuickBooks can be using either accrual reporting or cash without underlying data. QuickBooks create cash reports by omitting unpaid account receivable and payable. So this is very important things to understand. What's difference on balance sheet run on a cash basis and accrual basis? There is no account receivable payable in cash basis. So this is a main difference. And when a cash balance sheet is run, no account receivable balance will be zero in the QuickBooks, and open bills or invoices that balance sheet on distribution line are not reflected in a target balance. And this is an example of this one. So this is a main difference. What different on P&L on profit and loss report run on cash basis. Here all accrual income and expenses will not be shown here, like only income received or expense paid appear on a cash basis profit and loss account. And the statement does not include the amount distribution line for unpaid bills or invoices. QuickBooks uses the paid status on transactions as of the reporting period, and determine the include transaction on cash basis report. Sale receipts and expenses are considered as paid and included in cash report. How credit card payments treated in cash basis reports. In cash basis, QuickBooks treat transaction recorded credit card liability account as if they were paid by cash, and this can be hard for clients to understand, but think of it this way. And if they have not yet paid the balance of your credit card, the payee has received their payment, and from the prospectus is the same as cash transactions. In this situation, QuickBooks does not reverse entries like accounts payable balance. In the cash balance sheet shows the balance in the liability account, and the expense paid by credit card are included in the cash basis profit and loss account. Good way to remember: P&L will always include the expense type transaction regardless of report basis. A bill will always be reversed on cash-based P&L. If your client has entered a bill to reduce the liability, but the bill has not been paid when a cash basis report is run, QuickBooks display amount of bill in unapplied cash bill payment expense instead of reversing it against the credit card liability account. In this case, your clients files taxes on cash basis, they shall need to make an adjustment outside of QuickBooks for relevant amount to be reflected correctly on tax return. If this happens often, you may want to advise your client to leave amount owed in credit card liability account rather than create a bill. This way there will be no reversal against unapplied cash bill payment account. Do transaction dates make difference in cash basis reports? The transaction date can impact cash basis reporting if a customer payment is received earlier than invoice date. This is a main difference. Payment is shown as unapplied cash payment income when the report is generated for date before the invoice date. Also, inventory adjustment to cost of goods sold are not recorded in the report because the invoice is recorded it and report is date earlier than invoice. Same true for bill payment. If the date earlier than bill is applied and the cash basis P&L is dated sometime between bill payment and bill date, in that case bill payment is shown unapplied cash bill payment expense. Cash basis reports and unapplied cash. Working with cash basis report, you might see some accounts on P&L statement you don't immediately recognize. These accounts are created by QuickBooks to handle any unapplied payment or adjust the account receivable or payable to zero out. Because they are used to allow QuickBooks to switch between accrual and cash basis, these accounts can't be adjusted. The unapplied cash payment income account. When your client record a customer payment via receive payment screen and do not apply it when any invoices, then P&L will show the unapplied cash payment income report. Debit. In these cases, QuickBooks debit account receivables and credit unapplied cash payment automatically. This will be shown on cash basis P&L. The unapplied cash bill payment expense account. If there is no bill associated, then it will be posted in account receivable and cash basis report will show the unapplied cash bill payment expense, and the entry would be debit cash applied bill payment expense and credit account payable. Different plan, different reports. Depending on your client's QuickBooks plan, there may be different reports available to them. When work on report for advanced clients, you shall see have to access the further reference. And sharing reports, this is the next section of sharing reports. More action on report will give you access of different options for sharing report, and depending on the reports, these options will vary, but same in all cases. Emailing or adding to management reports and scheduling report. These are three options here. Emailing reports and adding to the management reports. Let's start. Email. To email a client a single report, select email report in more action drop down, and then you can add the email address of the people you are sending, and this is sent from QuickBooks, so it can be good idea to copy yourself in, and so you have a record of it, and it's easy for your client to respond you via email. You have an option to sending report as an Excel, CSV and PDF format. When selecting a format, consider how document will be used for recipient. And just for their information, they are likely to review it on phone or PDF might be the best. If they will be working with the data or adding notes to it, Excel or CSV might be more appropriate. Send sales by customer details report. This is an example. Here you may send in Excel, CSV or PDF file. Add a management report. You can choose add report to management from more action and drop down, and there you will see report the package easily shared alongside the other reports. And you share management report at the year end. You can choose create a report to add the report to or add an existing one. Scheduled reports. Now let's look at third option more, that is scheduled reports. This allow you to schedule the reports to be shared regularly with your client. And from within reports more action, and make sure the report period is dynamic, for example last month, this year to date, and rather than using custom dates. So this is very important, and new data is included in the report each time that is shared. When you want the first report to be sent and how frequently it should be, frequency should also be selected there, and you can enter the email address to you want to share and the clients who receive the reports, and write a converting note with them. Remember, this text will be the same as time the report is sent, so avoid mentioning date, writing like please see attached for Jan sales, a message please see the latest AR, happy collecting. This is good note you can use, and this is very suitable for using this one. And when you're filling out the detail, select save, turn on finish creating scheduled report, and then email send to your recipient on the date you specified. All reports sent this way will be attached as an Excel files. In the custom report, select the drop down menu action column to view existing schedules. Select the name of schedule, edit, and create the new schedule from the here. When scheduling report for QuickBooks Advanced, client report schedules can be viewed and edited in workflow centers. Tips when to use the scheduled reports. Scheduled report is useful for operational report purposes for your clients on regular basis. For example, sales manager wants to see the reports of all sales over the last month. Then in finance team, we wants to be weekly view of account receivables. It should be based on more judicially with financial statement, which usually requires some preliminary work to be done before sharing, as the schedule report will be sent regardless of whether this work has been done or not. So this is very important. Using the performance center, as an accountant you will also see the performance center report, and this is another great source of providing insight to your clients. Your clients would not see themselves unless they have QuickBooks Online Advanced version. In Advanced version, the client would have performance center, and there are some important view on these one. Overview. The performance contains customizable charts that can be shared with your clients. This is a great way of visualizing the financial data in a way that your clients might find easier to digest than the full reports. This isn't just a short overview at a glance view of your course. Charts can help clients quickly see what's happening in their business, enable them to recognize the trend that impact the financial health, and helps to monitor the KPI that matters most to them. Depending on the types of the chart, it may be possible to apply filters and compares data with a previous period. Depending on your client's industry and location, charts are available to compare your client's net profit margin and gross profit margin with other businesses. So this is very important. On the basis of industry, location, net profit and gross profit can be compared to the other businesses within the industry. This comparison is pulled from at least 30 businesses. These are very important for testing point of view. These are the closest match to your client's industry, asset and company information, the revenue range, and the location. These comparisons can provide useful information for advisory conversation with your clients. This is performance center in the report section, and here you will see the different charts. Quick add charts you will see there, and add the new charts, and you will see the different comparison: expenses, revenue, gross, net profit, accounts and receivable, cost of goods sold, NPM, GPM. Sharing charts. These can be shared with your clients by selecting three dots menu in the bottom right corner of the widget, and these create as a PDF or chart that can be easily shared. This can also be exported multiple charts at once. Select export and select the charts to be included in your exported PDF format. Here you will see a chart, and then here this is a three dots button. You will see you can edit, export and delete. Here you will export, and it will be shared in a PDF format to your clients. Example use of charts tracking sales performance. How the performance center can be used to show the sales performance of different products. This could be used to help clients compare how well different products sell throughout the year. This could then use this data to inform the decision, such as when to market certain product, and it should be discounted or not, and this kind of can be shared. To look the sales data, a new revenue chart is added to the performance center. Expense, revenue, gross report, and a unique name should be entered, and time period should be set, and then the group by drop down items should be selected for relevant. These are the items material, like you may select this one, and finally previous year same period should be selected comparison purposes, and set up comparison to view sales against the previous year. And after this, the compare, when the previous compared month or previous year same period. By following the above step, you can create easily understandable impactable chart to your clients, and can be shared with your clients, added to the performance center to the future reference. This is the chart that is created by our customization, and these are material, fountains, sprinkle heads, and these are also compared with our other stuff. Using cash planning tools, QuickBooks Online has two tools that help your clients with their cash planning: cash flow and planner. These are two different tools, and these can be accessed by going to the dashboard and to the left navigation bar. These tools combine connected bank account data with information from the other data within the QuickBooks, and display meaningful visualization, and give your clients more complete picture of the cash flows and them to make informed commercial decision. Let's look at the cash flow planner. Cash flow tab enables to view the cash flow for the previous month, and based on the transaction in the bank feed and the expected cash flow for upcoming month based on the bills and invoices already entered into the QuickBooks. Cash flow planner lists all clients connected banks and their respective balances, including summaries of money in and out. Here this is home and cash flow and the planner, and you will see here the chart and all accounts which is showing about the checking, bank account, credit card, and that's on. Planner tab open the cash flow planner tool and the past data, which is based on the past data and actual coming in from the bank feed, and the future based on the upcoming invoices and the bills incoming. It allows you to explore different scenarios by adding items to how its future cash flow. Adjustment made in planner affect your client's accounting in QuickBooks, their chart of accounts and online banking transactions, and save space to see how changes could affect the cash flows. This is a planner you will see based on the entered bills and invoices. Importance of connection: both cash planner and use the data from connected bank accounts. If your clients use bank credit card that are not connected, they would not see any data from the past cash flow. So this is very important. If these are not connected, data will not be shown. Look at this: periodically credit card is used for recording payment only, or it's used to make the purchases. So this our segment is completed. And the question is, QuickBooks cash planning tools are true. Cash planner is not available if multi-currency is enabled. Cash flow planner offers a future cash flow projection based on existing transactions, add transactions, and so these two options are correct. Now we are going to discuss our custom categorization. And now we shall discuss in details the overview of the task. More details for the QuickBooks, the more detailed reports we shall get. By setting your client's QuickBooks for their business, you will be able to run reports, group by filter, sales expense, vendors. If your clients use projects in QuickBooks Plus and Advanced, reports can be created to use this information to provide detailed insight into the business. This is covered and more in the level 2. In addition, 4 types of custom categorization available in QuickBooks to add details that are a custom field, and the other one is classes, and the other one is location. So these are custom categorization that would be used in this field. So basically we are going to discuss all these 4 points, so which is called the custom categorization here. This can be used to more specific information to the transaction, meaning you clients and run the reports data in more granular way and wide variety of purposes. So we shall discuss in detail the structure of transactions, 4 categorization type, how to use categorization. And first we shall select the structure of the transactions. Understanding the structure of transactions. Before looking closer at categorization method, it's worth taking time to understand structure to transaction to best understand QuickBooks handle these various categorization methods. Let's consider the concept of source and target to help you see how these categorization work best. The transaction headers. Header of transaction contains summary of information that is unique to transactions and relevant to every line of transactions. Include the transaction date, type information about the customer and the vendors. Header also include the relevant balance sheet account. And the header is the transaction source, and the source accounts are always balance sheet. So these are the very important. The headers contain the transaction source, and source come from balance sheet accounts such as bank, undeposited fund account, receivable, payable, and credit card. Custom categorization can be added to the source or tag, custom field, location, and these relate to the whole transaction. So this is invoice, and here we shall see the tag, the line item in the detail section of the transaction. So these are the line items, can be pointed to different accounts. These are distributor line or targets. Lines are called like a target. You may call them as a target. For transaction that involves the product and services and set of product and services statement in the target account, a transaction can only have one source, but it can have many target lines. We can assume that a transaction is occurred. There would be only one source, whether it from our bank account or cash account. This is source, and the target line means the information which is given in that transactions. Like in an invoice, we shall see a lot of items. So these can be the more than one items in our one transaction. Categorization can different on each target line in is the class. Shortly, that the class can either be added into target line or added to all lines at once in headers, regardless of method chosen. Classes are always associated with the target line. Classes are always associated with our target line. View the transaction journal. At the bottom of every transaction you will see the more transaction. Here you can see the transaction in the audit history. Transaction journal detail. The first line of report contains the source data, which is very similar. Rest of the lines are target that shows the transaction was distributed to journal ledger. For example, account receivable and amount of invoices are considered source of transactions. Target of or the accounts is distributed. For example, income, cost of goods sold, inventory and sales, all these are our targets lines. Selecting the list setting gear on the transactions journal will allow you to show the classes and location column on the report file. A journal entries note on the journal entries are the only transactions that do not have a source or at least one target. And so the custom categorization cannot be used the same way. This is very important. Locations and classes can be used on journal entries. This is very important. But tags and custom field cannot be used in a journal entry. Means you and your clients be careful about journal entries are made and the impact they could have on the custom reporting. Make sure the legal name is entered. One of the main reasons that 1099s are rejected. Second method is for categorization types. There are 4 types, that is tags, custom field, classes and location, and we shall discuss one by one. The tags are customizable labels, can be added money in out categorization, and they are available in simple start to the higher plans. Means these are available in every subscription plan. Tags can be created individually or added to the groups to provide greater insight when reporting. They are added at a header level of transactions and can be used to track the managed specific transactions. Multiple tags can be added to the same transactions. Custom field or fields that can be added: sales form in QuickBooks Essentials and up to purchase orders in QuickBooks Plus, and to customers, vendors and other purchase transactions in advanced levels. So this is basic. Sales form can be started from Essential and other things from onward. Essential and Plus custom fields allow only free text version, whereas Advanced have a range of different format and can be applied to wider range that are added at the header level of the transactions. Now the classes, this is a single field that can be added to our transactions or each target line of a transaction, and can be assigned to also product or services or to be by default class, and when item is sold or purchased. These are a great option for providing operational insight to the customers. Classes are available in Plus and Advanced, and using limits are applied as per their plan. These are applied to the target of transactions, and multiple classes might apply to the same transaction. So one thing should be noted: classes can be applied to the targets, and all three categorization method is applied to your source data. So this is we can say this is different from others. So this should be keep in mind, and very important for question point of view. Locations in a different location field can be used to identify the data related to each of these and make it easy for reports and comparison purposes, and these are available Plus and Advanced. And the limits are also applied, and location also used in header, and these apply both source and target data of transactions and can only have a one location associated with it. So these are some comparison and very important for your short question and answer. Their availability and these are from available simples and essential and up plus and advanced can be added in a sales or purchase form, sales and purchase orders, product and services, and sales and purchase transactions. Applies to the source or target. These all are applied to the source, but this is to the target. And these are unlimited. Custom fields are 3 and 1. This can be used in a one transaction. This is 1. Visible to clients. This is only custom field is visible to client at your option. Different reports are available for these relevant categories. Usage limit vary depend upon their plans, so we can check out their articles for these specific use. Here in an accountant setting, we can see their limits. Deciding how to use the categorization. The main crux of all these information is you should have a grip on this one, and it should meet your client's requirements, and all information should be relevant which they are requiring to you to create, and they should it should meet their objective. And before applying these things, you should apply on test these information on the sample company, and it will generate your required results. So this is a question. Custom categorization method either affect the source or target of the transactions. Match categorization method to the source or target. So this is you can say the drag option here. So I just match their tags are source, custom fields are source, and classes are target, and these are source. Now we are going to discuss our third customization method, which is tags. There is some overview, and the tags are used to these are used from the startup version, and these meets your customer requirement, generate the different reports. And now we are going to discuss the 4 steps here: how to set up tags, using tags, and report with tags, and the example of using these tags. The first step is how these will be set up. To use this setup, it will need first of all turn on in your accounting setting, and then you will go to the expense or sales section. Here these would be turned on. Once these are turned on, up to 300 tags can be created and grouped together if needed. 40 groups can be created in most plans. QuickBooks Advanced and unlimited number of groups can be set up. Check out the following sports article for your help. Using tags, how tags are used. And then go to the general setting here and select the tags. Here we shall see general settings, and these are the tags and tags groups, and here these are transaction are assigned. We can check out these are the action of run the reports which are associated transaction. We can see there. Adding tags to individual transactions. Most sales and expense transaction as you create them by selecting them in a tag section. In the tag section of the headers, you can add multiple tags in a one transaction. This is very important. You can only choose one tag per tag group. This is also important. From one group you can only select one. Start typing name of tag you want to add. Select it from the list. You can add new tag by typing new name, and then you can also add. You should be careful to avoid the duplicate tags or ending up the tags with the same name. You can also add the tags to existing transaction in the same way. You can just open that transactions and add your tags here. Batch and adding transactions. So these can also be used here. Tags can be assigned to multiple transactions at a time within tag list. So this is time saving features in QuickBooks. This is available. Both you and your clients can use this function and save a lot of time. From the tags list, select all untagged transactions. This takes you to a list of transaction filters. Show only those from last 365 days and don't have any tag. Use the filter to only show untagged transactions by specific type, date frame, customer, vendor, project, and boxes next to the transaction you want to tag. Select update tags drop down, choose the add tags, and with tags already applied, you can then select the tags you want to apply to the transaction. You cannot add new tags from here, so make sure that you have already created tags you want to apply. Adding tags via rules. You can also set the rules to assign the tags directly from the bank feed to ensure the tags are automatically applied to the appropriate transactions. This is quickest way to assign the tags. For this purpose, you need to go to the rules tab at transaction center and select the new rule, and here at the tag option you may assign the tags. There are some tips. It's worth nothing if you add tags to delete charges, billable, then add these to an invoice. Tags will not carry over into the invoice. This is very important. Delayed charges and billable expenses data would not be transferred to the invoices. Reporting with tags. How we shall create reports for these tags. Tag based reporting are also available in our report center. You can create the profit and loss by tag group. Profit and loss by tag group shows the income, expenses, net income of all transactions of the groups. Detail of each tag within group are displayed in the report center. Default group shown in the report will be in group tags. Display column by drop down. Here you can see profit and loss by tag group reports. Transaction list by tag group reports, how it will be generated and what kind of data it would show. You can find transaction list by tag group under the sales and customers and report center. Display the information of ungrouped tags. You can change it to different group using group by drop downs. Here you will see grouped by business, grouped by different tags group. You may also run the reports. Things to look out for when reporting with the tags. Remember, more than one tag can be assigned to our transactions, which means that same transaction can appear on different reports in the same report in the multiple places. Similarly, not all transactions need to be tagged, which means that some transactions would not appear on the report at all. Be careful. Reports with tags can provide clients with valuable information for businesses and combine other filters such as customer class and location. Tags are good to track specific events or specific projects that do not require the deeper detail of class or location. It can be added quickly to track one-off projects or quick turn-off events. Example of using the tags. Some looks at this example of how tags could use to calculate the commission landscaping by Josh operation in several states. Sales manager earn a straight commission no matter the state, but the rest of sales team earn different commission in different states. Tags can be set up in QuickBooks to show how much commission should be paid to each team member. First of all, we need to set up tags, add tags to the sales people, add tags for sales manager, and then running the reports. So first, create a tag group for each state commission percentage depending on the state where sales took place: 10, 7%, 5%, and 3%. Here you will see this is Florida state with 10%, Michigan 3%, New York 5%, and last one is 7%. And here these transactions are tagged. Next, populate each group with a salesperson who earns commission in that state. Under the state, you will see the employee name, manager name, rate term, and these are also shown here. Under this one, under the Michigan, they are different tags or under the same group. The commission in this date, since you have not two identical names in different tag groups, it's best to append each tag name in a group with percentage for that group. For example, Patty 10 and this one. Add tags for sales manager. Create a tags group title managers and add names of the sales manager as tags so that to the group. These are managers and manager Joshua, manager Moses, and that's on. Use of the tag. As fields are confirmed, add the appropriate tag to each transactions. And here, creating a separate tag group is helpful because some transactions require tagging by more than one group. For example, if a sales involves a salesperson and manager, then it will both can be shown here. Here you will see the managers and the state and other things. Running the report. Running a P&L by tag group report for specific time period will determine the amount of commission for each group. Report will need to be run for each tag group. The total of salespeople who are paid differently. Which of the following statement about running reports with tags are true? Tags are available in all QuickBooks plans. Okay. Tags are applied at the headers level of transaction. These are also good. Only one tag can be added. Wrong. Tag must be applied to transaction when they are created. Can be created after that. Okay. Now we are going to discuss our last and the fourth one categorization method, that is custom field. And the custom field are additional text field that can be added to sales form and purchase orders in essentials and plus accounts. We have already discussed in our previous tables. They are available in advanced plan and where you have greater control over they are used. And we shall discuss in detail the setup, custom fields, how to use them and report them, and example of custom field. Setting up of custom field, and these are some different steps we need to follow while following these one. And custom fields do not need to be turned on in any QuickBooks. These are automatically used. You just need to start them. When creating them, you can choose whether they should appear on sales form, purchase order, or both. These are specific used for sales form or purchase order. Number of field can be used in each place and depend on your plan. So here we can see sales form in a tags, no tags are used. Custom field 3, sales form classes 3, and location 12 per type of sales form. Purchase order can be used in up to 3. The number of fields that can be used in each place is depend on your client's plan. So here are 12 other purchase forms, 12 there are no either, customer and vendor 12 per type of profile, sales form up to 3, 3 and 12, and purchase order 1, 1, 3 and 12. Using custom field list. To see an overview of all custom fields that have been created, go to the general setting, gear, and select the custom field. These are some custom fields we can see from the general setting, and custom field we shall see this here: sales receipts, invoice, estimate, credit memo, refund receipts, and purchase order. So all these are showing here. Sales representative, customer source, and PO, and we shall discuss in details now. Adding custom fields to sales form and purchase orders. Unlike the tags, there are no way to add field data to multiple transactions at a time. When creating a sales form, these type of details into the custom field. Essential and plus allow the free text only. We have already discussed here. Be careful when using. Same entry could be written in different ways and therefore show up in different places or reports. Enhance custom field in QuickBooks Advanced. You can create fields for almost anything: sales representative, custom type, vendor ID, PO number, project manager, or info unique to your industry. You can add custom fields to the sales or purchase form, expense form, customer profile, vendor profile, and these give you the more flexibility and drive inside. You can create tighter control what is entered into field and including drop-down list, removing the risk of duplicate entries from the same thing. Reporting: how we shall run the report based on the custom fields. There are no default report. This is the main thing, no default report here. And so custom field, but you can group and filter many of detailed reports in Report Center by custom field to provide deeper insight. For example, running a sales by customer type detail report. By default, it will group all sales transactions for specific time period for date range. Selecting group by, then select relevant custom field, will regroup report by that field. So this is a way to, in a group format, you shall select. Example of using the custom fields, and there are 4 steps here we shall discuss too. Custom fields can be a great way to provide dimension of reports and help the client understand their business and help in decision making. And now we are discuss the Josh wants to understand a business comes from, so he can use the information in deciding how to spend his marketing budget. So we shall discuss this example in our 4 steps. Create the custom field and use the custom field. Apply the field to existing transactions and then run the reports. How we shall create the custom field: and the custom field called the customer source is created and set up. It will appear on the sales form. Those customers do not need to see it, and so the option to print on the form is not selected. Using the custom field for new sales form. Whenever Josh and his team create an estimate invoice sales receipt, they add the customer source. As this is an open input field, Josh's team are careful not to create duplicate source. Apply the field to existing transaction. Custom field is also completed on all existing estimate invoices sales that are created last 3 months and can build a detailed picture of the report. How to run the reports: you will go to sales by customer details and grouped by the customer source, and then you will see the report. Here this is a question: which of the following are benefit of using custom field in the QuickBooks? Up to 3 custom field can be added to the transaction in QuickBooks Essential and Plus Advanced. That's good. Standard reports in Report Center include both P&L and balance sheet by custom field. That's wrong. You can filter and group most reports by custom field. Yes. You can decide whether or not to display the custom field on the report. Yeah, this is also correct. I agree with this. And now we are going to discuss our 5th one, that is classes. And now we are discussing all these options in details, because we are discussing how to set up, how to use, how to report, and how to example these things. So these are the 4 as previous we have discussed the sequence. And now we are going to set up the classes. First of all, how we shall set up, and these need to be turned on in our setting, accountant setting and advanced setting also we know. And when turning it on, there are number of settings that can be selected to determine. And once turned on, classes can be created either at parent level or up to the 5 level of sub classes. In a plus version, you can use the 40 classes, sub classes, and location can be created. And in the advanced, you can use unlimited classes can be created. Enabling classes: before they can be used, classes must be enabled in advanced section, and categorization method are few different options how these are set up. Tips for using classes for departments. Setting up classes for different department in client can be great to allow to build the budget and make easier to provide their reports. It may be seen trying to managing the chart of accounts by adding accounts, sub-accounts for each department, and this can make chart of accounts very long. Classes are much more streamlined way of managing it. P&L will be wider as it will have a column for each department. For example, a client has sales leader, they can run the sales classes comparing actual versus budgeted, and sales leader on report. If use chart of accounts methodology, is much harder to separate the information as sales leader. How to use these classes? And now we are going to use these classes. To create and manage the classes, open the classes list from all list, and menu from the general setting, as we know, and all active classes will appear in the list, and subclasses will appear nested under, and add new classes, subclasses. You can go to the new button. All classes have a unique name, and similar subclasses are required under different classes. Adding prefix to subclass name will make it easier to identify when adding transactions, or you can add up to 4 levels of subclasses. Selecting drop down in the action column give you the option to edit the class to make it inactive, and data added to previously active classes field is not deleted when the class is made inactive. So this is very important. It will appear on the reports when deleted in the place of title class. To make multiple classes inactive, select the relevant classes, then select the badge action. Multiple classes can be allocated at one time. If you make parent class inactive, all subclasses will also become inactive. So this is the main rule. Printer icon, you print list of class structure, and list setting give you the option showing hiding inactive classes. Select run report. Next to the any class opens class quick report. Show all transactions that classes has been assigned in the last 90 days. You can change the filter on this report as needed. This report is only available from class list. There are some tips, and think carefully while structuring your classes and how it might be developed explained to the business. Adding classes to the transaction, product, and services. You assign one to every transaction to the product accurate reports, and even if it's just overhead expenses, and if you do not specified column in the one. Adding class to each row in a transaction. If the option one to each row in transaction was selected, when classes are set up, classes will be added to each detail line of transactions. Classes added to the different target lines can be same or different to classes can be selected from drop down list. Adding one class to entire transaction. If option 1 to entire was selected when setting up classes, this will be added to the header. Even though the header is associated with the source of transactions, adding the class here still associate it will only with the target lines. Adding classes or reclassifying in badges. These are also happen here. You can use reclassify transactions tool in the accountant tool version, and because the classes affect the target of transactions, you should select P&L in account type drop down and use the filter to help find the transaction to be changed. Select the transaction to be reclassified and new class should be assigned. Adding a class to product or services can be added to the basic information about product or services. One class is added to product. Added to an invoice, QuickBooks automatically assign the same class to the cost of goods sold. So this is very important. Assigning classes using journal entry. This also you can assign classes using reclassify transaction tool, but your clients do not have access to this one. Alternative, you can use journal entry to reclassify transactions. Every line is a target in a journal entry, so different classes can be added to each line. So this is very important. For example, classes are set up for each department in a business. Journal entry can be used to record overhead or share between them. First payment is recorded to a single class and overhead. Then journal entry is created, reassigning payment to the department classes. Reporting with classes. Report center contains several default reports relating to the classes, class list, and the profit and loss by class, sales by class summary, sales by class details, and purchase by class details. Classes and financial statement. So we are going to discuss one by one in detail. Profit and loss by class is default template report which provide a breakdown of income and expense by both class and subclass. Columns across the top of report show the value of each class and subclass. Transaction without classes will appear in not specified column. Value in this column might reflect unclassified transactions that are causing inaccuracies in report. If this happens, you may want to identify the transaction and work with your client to classify that properly. Customizing the balance sheet. There is not a balance sheet by class report in the report center. However, it is possible to customize balance sheet report to show the column by class by running a standard reports. Selecting classes from display column or by drop down. This could be useful for reporting on targets that are recorded in the balance sheet accounts. If customizable a balance sheet like this, it's worth nothing following. Classes only affect the target account. Line item typically post to the income or expenses, and most balances will appear in the not specified column in the balance sheet. So this is very important. Both source of transaction is posted to the not specified classes and the target are posted to the specified classes. Balance sheet would not balance per class. This is a useful tips for classes to provide insights. The use of classes provide a huge advisory opportunity to working with your clients and reports. Work with your clients to establish the best use of classes. And there is an example of assigning transaction department to show the different product to different sales channel and set up reports, visualize the information and financial separation in a tangible ways. Example of using the classes. We're going to discuss the one example. And, there are some steps we need to perform for one example. The landscaping by Joshua has a 3-department design, installation and maintenance, and we want to create the classes for them. The processes, first one is setup, then create the class and assign the class using the performance center for insight, then the report. So we shall discuss in details. First of all, need to set up the classes in our account and setting, and then we also select warn me if a transaction is not assigned a class is checked. The 1 to each row is transaction is option is selected to assign the class drop down. This is very important as for your need. Creating the class, you will add the new classes. These trees would be added and assign the classes to the transactions. If you want to assign the already recording classes, you can reclassify transaction tool to add these classes to the transactions, and the transaction are added. Make sure to add relevant department. Next step is performance center. A quick way to share information performance of each department is go to performance center, and here you can custom create your templates, and the chart is named revenue by department, and you may share with your client. Chart is exported and shared with your Joshua, providing a visual high level performance of each department. And now you shall run the report on the basis of these classes. Detail of each department shall be shown here in the report center. A unique name and save as custom report, and schedule can be created. Question number 1 is, which of the following plan is class tracking available in? Classes are available after the plus and advanced version. So this is the correct answer. Now we are going to discuss our last one, that is location. As you know, this is also available in plus and advanced version and above. And now we are going to discuss these four steps. First one is setting up your the location report with location and examples of your location. So we are following this location. We shall setting up the location. We shall go to content setting and enable first. And for each location, you can add up to 4 levels tier of sub-location here, and allowing a total 5 here. And as mentioned previously, usage limit for classes and location are combined. Up to 40 classes, subclasses can be created. In the advanced, there are no limitation. Enable after enabling the locations, you shall go advanced content setting and toggle switch on. There is an other setting related to the location in the content setting, that is location label. This drop down allows to change the label of location depending on your clients and you are using location field. You may wish to change, for example, a retail customer could change the location to store. Using location, how you shall use the location in your transactions. When you may see all these locations which are entered, you can go to the settings and you will see the all list there. And how you set up the location directly impact the reports. To think carefully about the hierarchy you set up for your clients. To add review location, go to the list and then you will see all active clients locations. And if your clients would prefer in order a different way, you can control how location are ordered by prefixing. You can go to the new and create the new one and check the sub location box and so on. Select the reports and the action column opens. QuickBooks report with a show all transaction location been applied and select run. After running the report, you will see all open location reports detailed with active transaction here. And add the classes list printer icon lets you print all list of the locations and list setting. Some are tips for the using locations for different entities. The location tracking is designed for tracking the performance of different locations within same business. You may find that you have clients that also use it to track different entities. If any of the entity plan to use QuickBooks product that use the company tax ID, using the location to track entities is to be strongly discouraged. Should we keep in mind, as only one tax ID is associated with each QuickBooks account. It's best to avoid complication of using location to separate different entities with low cost of QuickBooks Ledger. This could be a more efficient solution. Signing class using journal entries. Now look how to sign class to the transactions. Adding location to individual transactions. Location to individual transaction is simple. Select the relevant transaction in the drop-down list. Adding location to multiple transactions. It's also possible to use reclassified transactions or location of multiple transaction at once. This is also it's worth remembering reclassify tools make changes at the target line level and location affect the transaction source. This means that you make changes to the location of a single target line using the reclassify transaction tool, or the other target lines on the same transaction will also be updated. So it's very careful. Assigning location using journal entry. Yes, journal entries are only transactions that allow you to add multiple locations. They do not have a source, but every line on a journal entry is a target because it's important to all lines on a journal entry that adjust specific location should balance in order for balance sheet to remain in balance. So you must debit or credit the same amount particular location on a journal entry. You could use you do need to add more than one location in our transactions. Handling bills covering more than one locations. Our transaction can only have one location and associated with them in QuickBooks. Your client's business might not be that simple, and sometimes bills be received that are related to multiple locations. Accounts payable activity is usually recorded through bills and bill payment. Bills have a location field, and bill payment transactions pick up the location of the bills of being paid. If the bill payment is applied to multiple bills that have different locations, or if the location is assigned to a bill that after payment has been made, what happened, then location data is likely to become incorrect. To avoid this, filter the pay bill screen and for one location at a time, and allowing you to show only bills due to each locations. Pay bills for each location individually. If the actual payment needs to be for the total amount due to the vendors record multiple payments online, match those payment to actual payment when it comes through the bank feeds. Location and billable expenses. If billable expenses are added to an invoice, the payment will not show a location. If expenses do not have a location at original expenses, they have a different location than location on an invoice. All billable charges show in the customer invoice drawer, but you cannot see the location in drawer. You need to open each billable charge to see what location it was. Alternatively, you can run an unbilled charges report with location set as a default column. Consistency is key. If a location is not specified in a transaction, you shall see these amounts in not specified column when you run a report, and you shall know whether location was not assigned by mistake. If you're using any connected apps that synchronize them with QuickBooks, explore whether synchronization from the location category. Any third-party app will call this category department field, and if you are ensuring this, contact the app provider, ask whether the field is part of their app integration. Running with reports with locations. So these reports can be found in our report section. Location list, P&L by location, sales by location summary, sales by location details, and purchase by location. Location and financial statement. What insight running financial statement by location can bring? Profit and loss by location. P&L by location shows you all transactions assigned to particular locations, allow each location to perform compared to others. And not specified column, if there are no transaction for particular location reporting period, that location would not appear on the report. Customize it. Balance sheet. No default balance sheet by location report. However, because location affects the source of transactions, you can customize balance sheet to show the location by choosing location from display column. This is a quick way of showing assets and liabilities of location. For example, you could use this provide you clients with useful information about inventory level at different locations. Example of using the classes, we will follow the same trend. First, we set up, create the location, assign location, run the reports, and customize the balance sheet to view that report in our balance sheet. You may set up the location from account and setting and location label, and create the class by go to the all settings and setting. You are going to create these locations, small town, large town, and here you can under the large town you have two branches, north and south, assigning classes to the transaction. You should classify the transactions and then add them, and then you shall run the reports. Custom reports tab of the reports, and enter and schedule to be sent to the every 2 weeks. Here run the P&L report by class. You can also P&L run the report, and other shows the balance sheet for the north and the south and branches in a large town. So that's completed. And now how can a construction company with sites in 3 locations benefits from location? And they can run the reports to identify which location has highest expense, and they can identify which location contribute most to the overall profit. So that's all for today. And we have completed all 5 sections of our QuickBooks level 2 study materials. And if you want to learn about QuickBooks training, you may visit my YouTube channel and find the QuickBooks training, and you may also find QuickBooks Online Level 1 study material and their exam answer, Level 2 study material and exam answer. And beside this, I have also created Zero Pro Advisor certification exam answers. Thank you for watching this video. See you in our next plan and next video series. And if you have any question, please mention in the comment section and I shall reply you as soon as possible. Thanks. Bye bye.